Today I want to talk about the process of creation, about creativity, and about this interesting tendency, an interesting paradox. The tendency is, especially here in Western world, we want to focus on the goal, we want to focus on outcome and work so hard towards it. Because outcome apparently matters. Because outcome will define us. How we think, how we perceive it to be, it defines us. I am successful if outcome is accomplished. I am worthy. I will be loved if I have money, if I build my next empire, if I will be on the cover of the magazine, if, then I will be happy. I just had an amazing session with the client and we did very deep processing. You know who I talk about. So thank you for great work that we did today. I will keep it confidential, yet I will put your example to share with others, okay? And much gratitude for that. Interesting. So he had very hard time starting the process, even though he envisioned it for so long time that he wanted to build particular business, to apply his skills to create this particular service to demographic that he is passionate about. And it never got started even. Our inner excuses, of course, we think that we are working towards it. And I had this experience so many times. You would ask person, what you're doing? And the person would ask, oh, I'm working on this business. Fantastic, what have you accomplished so far? Oh, I'm still researching. Have you ever had this conversation with somebody or yourself? I'm still in researching. How long have you been researching? Years, sometimes. So the truth is, no, you're not working towards your business. You're so in your head and you're so afraid to take a step because you're afraid that the outcome that you imagine will not actually get manifested into the reality. You will not see the tangible outcome of your action in particular form you imagine. The processing led us to the experience of embarrassment associated with some past and connection with a person that had nothing to do with business at all, but the memory of trying something that felt bold, the memory it was so strong that feeling it again is not desirable because it's painful. Yet, the process of letting go of that memory was a very lengthy process because it's very clear to both of us that he does not want to let go of this memory that connects. When I say here, imagine that I talk to you. Imagine that I talk to someone you know. So let's talk about you right now. How often does it happen that you remember very clearly event that hurt you, yet you're not willing, if you're very honest with yourself, you're not willing to fully let go and forgive another person or yourself? And this is the very interesting and important conversation on its own. Remember something that generates anger in you, event in your life. If you would truly want to let go, you would. If you could, you would. The reason why you're not letting it go, because you're choosing not to, right? You're choosing not to let go. Consciously or unconsciously, you're choosing not to let go. The question is, why you're choosing that? And the discovery of this process is not linear, it's not that clear. Maybe it's because you don't want to lose connection with that person. They're long gone, but you feel that through your anger, you're connected. Through your guilt, shame, you're connected. Then alternative, of course, if you want to still be connected, connect through love and joy and thoughts that bring emotion that is very positive emotion. The trick is, what if it's not as strong? What if anger is much stronger and connection felt more? Feels more real. The truth is, it's not real. It's still just a thought. There is no connection beyond the actual connection that you can have if you live in the reality that is tangible in that sense. Actual dialogue, actual spending time together, or actual let go. Because if we choose to live in our heads, why are we not choosing something that brings us joy? Now, the fact that we're holding on to that anger of particular event because we tried to do new things, maybe we offered us in some way and we felt rejected and maybe minimized. That itself now is so strong in our body because we are not letting it go. We are consciously or unconsciously holding on to that. So it's super present in our body. Every cell of our body stores the information. It's very present in our body. Now, because we're not letting it go, every time we try to venture into something new, this triggered. It gets triggered because we didn't let it go. We re-experience it so often for some particular imaginary benefit of it that the trigger happens again and again and again, and we cannot just decide to get into it. And this particular example, even though I kind of morphed the example a little bit to speak generic, it's from my work that I've been doing so long enough. It's extremely common. Extremely common. The people that the connection exists with on the level of emotion, very often negative emotion, we call it we didn't forgive them or ourselves. It's so common that we don't let it go because we choose to hold on to it. We choose to hold on to it, to create something imaginary out of it. Some imaginary punishment to another person, which is not happening because it's all in our head. The only person we're punishing ourselves. Now we can track back and find out why we're punishing ourselves. What another event can explain our behavior. And then we start to peel it off. Let go, past event from childhood, from teenage, from adulthood. Sometimes it requires a chain of let go to have this strong main event, maybe that happened very recently, for that to be let go. Unless we do some deep processing work that allow us to get there immediately. But if we take it slower and lighter and a little bit gentler, then unfolding is not linear. We have to break chain of these attachments to memories through negative emotions, unsolved, unresolved. And now we are looking into going and venturing in something new for your business or otherwise. This newness is only possible when you are new, when you consciously let go of all these compulsions to think and feel and replay negativity. Because if you are stuck into that, what is not happening is the play. You cannot just go and play because right now all you think is the goal that you want to accomplish, let's say in your business, the outcome, you think about outcome, and it triggers fear because now you have associations of other outcomes when you did something new and bold, and you know that you feel pain and anger and sadness and shame and guilt. because you know that so well, you keep feeling it so many times, that now every time you focus on your goal and outcome, all you have, instead of joy of seeing it happening to you, to someone in your life, to have it manifested in some form, all you can feel is this pain. Pain that you consciously or subconsciously did not let go. At least you didn't make conscious decision to let it go. And you didn't do what it requires. Sometimes it requires processing of our emotions and attachment, whether you do it yourself or with someone else. If you can't do it on your own, come to me, call me, let's do it. But get it done. You can do it by yourself if you choose to. If you have tools, if you understand how it's done, do it. Because you will never do that step forward and forward and forward. You always, each next step forward will be two backwards. Because you keep replaying your pains. Keep replaying them again and again. So now, what can you do? If you haven't solved any of those traumas or many of those traumas, because we meet traumatic experiences almost every day. Degree of them are different, but the impact is always the same. Our ego becomes so affected and deformed by all these experiences that there's, at some point when you look at an adult person, very often there's almost, no matter where you poke them, there will be a spot of pain, unless it's solved. And we have to consciously reprocess it. And I call it in my work emotional fitness. You have to work on it as regularly as you need to go to exercise. As much as you need to take care of your physical body, you need to take care of your emotional body. So, what can we do? If the processing of your past did not really happen, instead of focusing on outcome that will trigger pains in you and will kick you back, so you're never going to get to it, or you start and you go back, and you start and you go back, and you're kind of circling around and nothing is happening, you're stuck. Instead of that, focus on the process. It's so simple, yet so forgotten, and so abundant thought. Don't focus on outcome. That's okay if you don't make that $1 million out of your business today, and 10 tomorrow, and 100 a few years after. That's okay. It's okay if you don't build the biggest empire. That's okay. Take one step at a time. Feel what your creativity calling you. Yes, you already imagine what you want to build. You know it already. You don't need to go there every time, unless you're able to completely let go of all your triggers and all your negative attachments and completely let go of it, to think about it from a place of pure joy. But it will not happen in 99.99999% of cases if you have those negative triggers. So don't go where it's hard. Don't do that. Focus on right now. What is bringing joy? What is bringing all my creativity? What do I want to do now? What is that step that I want to take right now? Not to accomplish that goal, but to feel good right now. To feel immersed in the process. Not to feel self-actualized through the outcome, but self-actualized through the creativity that is just flowing, just energy, just moving. I feel so open. My heart is open, crack open. Forget about heartbreaks. There is nothing exists in that sense. The heart is functioning, it's never broken. But now, imagine that you actually rip it apart and become so open that nothing can affect you, because all that matters is this particular moment right now, and you immersion in it through the process of creativity. Through the process. So you cannot fail the process. You can fail the outcome. It might happen or not. And then you can blame yourself or not. But you cannot fail the process. You can fail outcome, you cannot fail the process. Because in the process, there's no attachment to good, bad, successful, unsuccessful, efficient, not efficient, pretty, not pretty. That's outcome. Process is just your relationship with the moment and you're flowing and creating, whether it's a piece of art or a form of service or anything else. Just focus on right this moment. If I fully open without keep going back to all my negative attachments, if I open myself completely, what can I sense I want right now? Forget tomorrow, forget day after. What is right now taking me? If I take one step towards it, towards that desired dream outcome, if I don't focus on creating it all, but just some small elements, what step do I want to take towards it? Not to accomplish something efficient, but to give this immersion, forgot the word now, to immerse completely in the process and give yourself complete sense of joy while doing it. And if you do it one step at a time like that, through creativity, you will be led to the best place for you, whether it's desired outcome or some other outcome. But you cannot fail, because on the way, during your walk toward it, during the journey, you will enjoy each step of it. So you can't fail. Well, you can never fail, but for the mind, it's very hard to understand. So work with what is easy to grasp. Work through your creative process. It always will take you to great places. Place of love, joy, creativity, sense of sensual relationship with life through our senses, sensual, yes? And it will allow you to focus on yourself, your pains, your experiences, your expectations of yourself, all that stuff, all your thoughts. It will help you to get out of the trap of the mind and squeeze yourself in the space between you, as you feel yourself to be right now, and the outcome. Focus on that space in between of it. And there is the ultimate love and joy. And that's what creativity is, expression of love. With that, my dear friend, I'm sharing you my love. I'm squeezing that space between myself and you and offering to you my love and full support. Go out there, venture out, enjoy the process, enjoy the journey, because it's precious. Life is precious. Don't be in the way of it, in the way of your joy. Get on with life. Feel it, feel alive. Feel alive beyond outcomes. Feel alive now in whatever process you're going through. Get creative. Get loving through some action of your inner world. Much love to you, my dear. A lot of love. See you soon. See you soon.